Do you ever find when you finally get into bed at night that despite how tired you are, you just are too alert to get to sleep? Or maybe you just find it really hard to stick to a set bedtime and you find yourself going to bed a little bit later every night? The reason this could be happening is that your circadian rhythm is out of alignment with the natural solar day. And if it is, don't worry, because I have a really simple sleep tip that can help fix this, as to get outside early in the morning. This seems a little bit counterintuitive, since normally if people have trouble sleeping, they're going to focus on what they're doing right before they get into bed, right? And it seems to make sense because what you're doing right before you get into bed must be the most important, right? But what about what you do first thing in the morning? Does that really make a difference, or is it too far in the past? The truth is that it can make a significant difference because it helps set your circadian rhythm. And among the many things that your circadian rhythm influences is what time at night you start to feel sleepy. The problem is that your circadian rhythm isn't completely set. So sometimes it can be disrupted and get a little bit out of whack and cause sleep problems. But the good news is that because it's not completely set, we can do things to fix it. And exposure to really bright light, such as direct sunlight, can help fix your circadian rhythm in two distinct ways. The first way it does this is through entrainment. So that your circadian rhythm can adjust for the seasons and fix itself, it is sensitive to light. So exposure to daylight, especially early in the morning, will help to synchronize your circadian rhythm to that of the solar day. And the more you do this, the more entrained your circadian rhythm becomes and the less vulnerable it is to disruption. The second way that bright light helps is through desensitization. The unfortunate downside to your circadian rhythm's sensitivity to light is that too much bright light in the evening will disrupt it and lower your sleep quality. However, if you're exposed to very bright light, such as daylight during the day, your circadian rhythm photoreceptor cells actually become less sensitive to light at nighttime. This means that if you spend a lot of time outside, in the evening you can use your phone or watch TV without as much of the usually associated melatonin suppression and still get a good night's sleep. So what can you do to get these protections? Unfortunately, indoor lighting is just way too dim. So if you work inside like most people do, you're still going to be vulnerable to circadian disruption. So this makes regular exposure to direct sunlight even more important. But this can be pretty tricky. So I have 5 easy ways for you to increase your exposure to bright daylight. The first is to eat your breakfast in a room with a south-facing window, so you can get some of that daylight first thing in the morning. Another one is take your lunch breaks outside. I used to always do this when I was in college or whenever I had a job that's had lunch breaks. And it's always great to get some fresh air too, right? You can develop an outdoor hobby so you have a reason and a motivation to be outside. You can spend some of your days off at the park. If you have kids, it's really great. You can let them loose at the playground and you can entrain your circadian rhythm at the same time. Definite win-win. Now, I have a 5th one, which is a little bit easier once the others have taken effect and you're not so tired, and that is to get up early in the morning so that you can go for a walk in the daylight before you go to work. Like I said, it's a bit easier when you're not so tired. So now that you know how important exposure to daylight is to maintain your circadian rhythm, I hope you can find some time each day to be outside, hopefully in the morning, as it's a great way to get a good night's sleep. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe so you never miss one of my future videos, and until then, you can check out some of my other sleep tips that I already have. I'll see you next time.